Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are looking at the Marvel Legends Avengers Black Knight, part of the Cull Obsidian Build-A-Figure wave. Here we have Black Knight in the front window box displayed with the Avengers logo. At the top we get the Avengers logo. On the side we get some very cool artwork of the Black Knight wearing one of his alternate heads there, and then we get a product shot here as well as all the other figures needed in this wave to build the Cull Obsidian Build-A-Figure. And at the top we have the read-up: an expert horseman and superior swordsman, Black Knight has a checkered history as a powerful combatant with no clear allegiances. And at the bottom we do have the UPC code, so you can check with your local retailer to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that, let's get this open and take a look at the Black Knight. And here is the Black Knight all out of the packaging. And I gotta say, right out of the gate, there's a couple of things that I just don't like about this figure. I have a loose joint on his right arm. I don't know why they gave him a trigger finger hand for his right hand and then a gripping hand for his left hand. He is meant to be, or depicted anyway, as being right-handed for his sword, and that trigger hand holds it very loosely. The sword is actually better held in his left hand, which I will show you later on. And he's just very unbalanced. I had a heck of a time even getting him into any pose, so basically just got him into this kind of bring it on pose here. And I will mention this sword was pretty warped. Normally I do say that I try to leave things in the same condition that I took it out in, but it was so warped that it just looked silly. So I did the classic hot water trick. If you don't know, ran some hot water on the sword for about 30 seconds, let it heat up, straighten it out, and then put it into cold water to help straighten it out. You can see it still has a little bit of waviness to it right there, but that I can work that out again with another treatment. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the accessories that come with the Black Knight here, and then we're going to go ahead and get a better look at the figure himself. So taking a look, the Black Knight does come with a couple of different head sculpts, which we'll look at once we actually look at the full figure, which leaves us with his sword here, which doesn't really have a whole lot going on. It is just a black molded plastic. And then you have gold paint on the hilt, and you can actually see some of the overpaint there. But then it's just a gold paint on the hilt, and yeah, it came out looking good. He does come with a, I was about to say holster, but I can't remember what the heck, a sheath. Obviously not a full sheath, but it does go in there. However, when you put it in there, it kind of hits the leg and bends a little bit, but you know, not a big deal. So you do get that sheath with it, which is cool though if you do want to have him just holding or have him with the sword displayed. So enough about that. Let's go ahead and take a look though now at the Black Knight. And taking a look here at the Black Knight. So this is the head that he comes with in the package. I couldn't tell you what all the heads are based on, with the exception, I believe, the bucket head one is based on his first appearance. But we got these big flares here on the side that came out looking good, and it's cool that the way it was sculpted definitely looks like a helmet, and it's even a little bit pliable there, and you can see you got a sculpted nose and everything under there, so it actually does look like a helmet versus I don't know, just a big molded piece. So that is cool. Paintwork on this one, not too bad there. Could have used a little bit of help probably with some of the spots, but for the most part, not bad. To swap out the heads, just like any other Marvel Legends, pop that off, and then we have, I believe this one is his more modern look, and we do get the more expressive face with this one. So we get the clenched teeth there, and again, similar paint scheme, the gold with the dark blue, very dark blue, but looks good. Paint up top there, not bad. And then same thing, just pop it off, and then we got his, I call it the bucket head, but and then that one goes on. And with this one we don't have any eyes that we can see, just a big classic looking helmet, and you do get an eagle there, which actually came out looking pretty good. That one actually has a lot of detail in it, so yeah, not bad. Going down and looking at the rest of the figure, this is a reused body mold. We've seen this with Hobgoblin, we've seen this with Green Goblin. It is the scales on the arm look that we've seen a couple times before, And we get the same sort of, the scale work there and the big cuffs, so nothing really new, with the exception, of course, he does have the belt with the sheath I had pointed out earlier. You got patches going around, and again, scales, and he's got the big boots. So really not a whole lot going on paint-wise. The logo on his chest came out looking pretty decent. And sorry, I don't know why that's not focusing in here. Let's see if we can get it in close and focus. There we go. Not too bad. Came out looking good. Yeah. Not bad. And then the cape does just come off. It is held on with a port in the back there. And of course the clasps, which came out looking pretty decent as well. And that can just go right back on there. So not bad, but let's go ahead and take a look now at the scale and articulation on the Black Knight. And looking at the scale here, the Black Knight, we can see he's coming in just a little bit over 6 inches tall. Looking at his articulation, so one thing right out of the gate, maybe this is just mine, but he's got a very loose head wobble right there. I mean, I can barely touch it, and it doesn't allow you to get any slightly upward poses. He can look back pretty far, and he can look down pretty far, and that head wobble does actually get a little bit of a turn, and obviously there is side to side. Let's actually just take the cape off right now. It doesn't really get in the way of the articulation. His arms don't really want to come up, and I tried the whole pushing it down thing to make sure that it's not hitting the edge, and they just really don't want to move. So that's one downside, is I had a heck of a time even trying to get it to go, and I don't think the arms are going to go up, so that's kind of a downer. Full rotation on the arm, very clicky rotation. He does have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then he does have a hinge and rotation at the wrist. Mine on this arm has a loose joint here. It doesn't really show up as well, but that is a very loose bicep, so much so that when he was holding the sword, it would just fall, so that was kind of a bummer. He's got ab crunch go back that far, go forward that far. He does have a waist rotation just above his belt, legs that can go apart that far, kick forward, kick backwards, double jointed knees, and this knee joint is actually a little loose for me as well. I don't know how you can see that. And then he does have a boot cut and a ankle hinge and ankle pivot. And for a quick comparison, here is the entire Cull Obsidian wave standing together. You have the Infinity War, Thor and Black Widow, Ant-Man and Wasp, Cull Obsidian in the back, Malekith, and the Black Knight. And that about does it for this review, everyone. And, overall, I think it was cool to get a Black Knight figure, especially since we've had that body mold for quite some time now. But man, just the issues that I have with mine as far as the loose joints and stuff, and the choice on that right hand, that trigger finger, I just do not understand why they did that, to loosely hold a sword when they have gripping hands that they could have used instead. But yeah, it just seems like a really silly oversight and could have been easily avoided. I think it was cool that they did give us a bunch of different head sculpts and designs, so I think that is probably the biggest saving grace, is that we do get the different variations for the Black Knight. But all in all, could have used just a couple of simple design choice changes and would have really made this figure much better. But that is it, guys. Please hit that like button down below if you like this video. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any. I always love hearing from you. Hit that subscribe button for more content just like this. And as always, thanks for watching my video, and have a great day.